What's up, folks? Welcome back. Good to see you again. This is a Patreon request video for Sultan. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. We're going to be listening to music from Otto. It's called I'm a Controversy. I'm excited. Let's go. That's cool. Okay. That's very auto phrasing. That's field change. Even more. Heavy synths, man. All right. Okay. Heavy dance track right here. Very her. That super heavy articulations. Oh. God, her voice is so beautiful. Outstanding. All right, this feels like an auto track. I'm not familiar with, I listen to her all the time. Like, she's a daily rotation in the gym. Like, it's required to feel good during the pain of lifting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the song, though. I don't know her producers well enough. This, goddamn, 37 million views, 2023. Okay, well, I was listening to her when this came out. Pinocchio Pete, have I listened to other tunes that this has been the producer? The mix, Naoki Itai. Man, I'm just not knowledgeable enough. Anyway, let's talk about the music. I love the contrast that we get in the beginning here. It's super light. After we punch the TV, and then suddenly there's like, I don't know, this far off kind of synth sounding, like flute going on. And then the whisper tones that are underneath that, it's creepy, but so groovy. And then the manipulation. Yeah, man. And then instantly we're in, we confirm we're going to be in that tonality because really is more of a cadential moment right there, like harmonically speaking, to set us in. And then immediately it's auto phrasing within the vocals. We hear that kind of, she's so good at just creating an interesting line with a little bit of contour, jump up, jump down. Just thinking as far as if you want to like visualize the shape of the linear picture of where the melody is going. She is very consistent with delivering those in a similar fashion, song to song, which is cool because that really gives the artist their sound. But she has she goes between, right now it's still at this beautiful moment. And when her aggressive parts are not unbeautiful. They're just aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give props to what's going on here and the consistency that we get from the performance side of her as an artist. If that makes sense. Similar designs with ensemble hits and like these cute little like sounds that are going on. So you have a lot of interaction within the background tracks. They're really easy to pull out and identify though, because when it's like in this kind of synth landscape versus instead of like a real band being played here, it's way more kind of like DAW created. It's a different listening experience. All is great, right? Feature it all. Give it all to us, but it's nice. Hold on, I'm singing that wrong. That's cool. Was not so, I'm not reading lyrics at all, but it's probably, I don't know, considering the animation on the screen, it's probably funny. I'm strictly listening, but I like the feel change immediately. I think I made a comment about that on the first listen, and then also we go into a halftime groove right on after this. So it's very like her, not only are the articulations fun, the rhythm design within the track from, the production side is cool and interactive, but you're going to get all these feel changes that if you're dancing to it, you're gonna be feeling it quite a few ways, multiple times. So that's cool. Also consider her voice is quite a bit different there. Yeah, we're so heavy on the synth side. I wasn't really expecting that. It's been a little bit since. That's interesting how she approached that phrase though, with that little line she delivered, because it kind of backs off. The synth is so heavy right there. She's a little bit more delicate on the vocal delivery underneath it. Right here. You know what I'm saying? That's, oh, man. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. With her, you cannot, we're only 30 seconds into the song and there's so many variations. And we say this all the time in the reaction videos when we're just like doing an active listening. She gives you so many vocal characters to experience within a short amount of time. It's pretty fascinating. I wonder how many people are just trying to emulate this and copy the style. And then yeah, it's just like massive dance track. Hold on, I'm gonna ignore the voice. It's impossible to ignore her voice here because obviously ba da 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 ba ba da 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 da. It's a massive like They're driving that rhythm in. It's a very successful hook because against it, what do you have? The pop progression is really popping, no pun intended, and you got big fat quarter notes like it's big 4 on the floor underneath. So I mean, how can you possibly ignore that? But you got all these like pew, pew, almost like lasery type offbeat sounds going against like just I don't know, the dominant, just the synth sound is so overpowering. It's not overpowering in a bad way. It's just really, I mean, if you think about the progression and context of difference, just listen to this real quick. And now just listen to this for a second. Like, come on. That's so much variety within the song. And I'm not saying she's she's not unique in the aspect that, oh, wow, we've produced a tune that has a production team that understands how to give you variety within the context of the song. But I just feel like there's just more. We're only like, this is 40 seconds into the minute that we've listened to. Sorry. We've made 1 minute into 7 minutes in this video already, but that's how we do things. Also, when she ends that phrase and we get the vibrato that's up top and then the synth underneath kind of call a response to that, that's good engineering. Those laser sounds are wild. Now that's the other part where we talked about it as I was going through. Ba da 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 da. It's like her signature kind of chorus drop for me is 2-note groupings, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and such a heavy accent on the strong part of the beat on all those dia 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 dia. It's very very her, and it just, if you only play me that part, if you play me like 3 seconds, I'd be like auto, like I would just immediately know because the sound and the articulation grouping styles it's so consistent in so many of her songs. All right, let's keep going. Beautiful tone, though. Seriously. Interesting. Way different phrasing. Sick. Wow, that's fun. Interesting. All right, we got to go back. Sorry, I'm just going to apologize in advance because there's going to be a lot of stuff to stop about. We got even more variation within things. This is where the auto songs get more complicated. And the comment I made earlier about, I wonder how many people are creating similar content trying to copy the style. You have to have a certain skill set, though, to be able to do this effectively because it's way more difficult. It's way more challenging, man. To be able to keep track. It's one thing to like sing a song and a melody and, know where the chord progression. I mean, vocalists, sorry for those of you that are vocalists watching this, but y'all are, infamous for just doing your own fucking thing on the gig. Like, oh yeah, well, yeah, whatever, it's fine. And the band follows, you know. Anyone, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just like, this is the reality of the gig and the reality of being an instrumentalist. When you play, you're like, haha. Remember when you took like 4 bars off the verse there and you jumped to the chorus, you're like ahead of time? But, you know, the band just jumps ahead with it. Anyway, the point is the demand to, like, if you were to cover this, there's so much going on. There's so much happening. I mean, the track is obviously it's getting a lot more complicated, but the vocal demand for what's happening within the rhythms, within the melody, and then all of the little character style changes, like, I was just kind of like laughing at myself, you know, pondering how many people are trying to copy it when it's like, well, can they actually? It's pretty difficult. But I imagine with everything, there's someone out there doing it. So I'm sure somebody is and emulating it and putting it into their bag of tricks. Okay, let's hear this chunk again. Yeah, ba 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 da do do da da da. So right there, we're already getting so much more that we didn't have. The ba doom ba, that part we just heard, yeah, that's cool. It was you know, varied, but I feel like we hear her do things like that all the time. But this is more the nitty gritty. Yeah, and with the bow, the hit on beat 2 or the wherever it was, the variation of that interrupted our downbeat interpretations with the groove. Really perfect design from a production standpoint, going against what she was singing. I need to experience. That's 123. Hold on. Let's go back to like 113. That's beat 2. So I mean, like, think about that. Like, these aren't like, you know, impossible. There's no rhythmic substitutions going on here. We're not like singing like, you know, 9 in the place of 7 in some phrase that starts on the end of 4 and you got to like feel it all the way to 3 the next bar. Things like that aren't happening. However, they're still pretty challenging for, you know, modern vocalists because we just really don't get phrasing like this. That's why I think that's the reason I like Otto so much. And the variety of her tracks are pretty cool, but it's probably the rhythmic interpretations and the fact that the melodies are also pretty interesting. I'm pretty snooty. Like, I know that about myself. I'm a dick. I get it. But like, I like to praise folks when there's a team of people that do a good job. But you know, I turn my nose pretty quick when stuff's like pretty lame. And it's like, yeah, cool. You could have made that like in 8th grade. Like, I never get that experience when I'm listening to an Otto song. So that's very enjoyable. And simple things. But and we get to go to her like, I don't know, we should name who's like the best. I feel like, look, I always hear like references to Chris Lipe's channel for him being the most there's got to be a lot of vocal coach that do reaction videos, more of analysis. Reaction is such a cringe word. Like analysis videos of what's going on. Has anybody that are like actual vocalists like named the characters that she does? Like because I feel like we hear them in all of her songs, you know. I'll be like, oh, the voice is so beautiful there. It's so like pretty and like there's so much, you know, vibrato and it's more of a whole sound. And then you get sort of like aggressive borderline Janis Joplin screaming song. And then there's like super nasally. And then there's like the front of the head sound. Like, has anyone named all these? They should have character names because I swear she just does them more than the average singer does. Does that make sense? Like, I want to know. I wonder if Chris has done anything like that. Did you hear how light and subtle that little fill in the synth was? That's amazing. Awesome. So now boom, 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 all these like light little, I don't know, like glass. I feel like they could like shatter. They're so light and playful, these arpeggios that are supporting what's going on here. Again. Obligatory. All right, let's keep going. That was interesting. Did we get that last time? Okay, I'm not going to rewind and do the whole drop again because it felt 95% the same. I just don't remember if there was that if that was in the first one. It might have been. I mean, there's so much to listen to. You can't possibly, there's too much. You can't grab it all. You got to go back like 30 times to check stuff out. So anyway, that was cool. Let's keep going. A little variation on the backbeat. Oh, that's interesting. Little tag at the end. Oh, then we end the bookends here. A little heavier on the snare that time. That's cool. What a great song. Okay, we got to go back and listen to, I think it was probably about from, let's see, that's 310. I'm not totally sure where we'll mouse over it, but just first closing thoughts before we kind of go back and listen to some stuff again. The main takeaway from all the points we made about, how much stuff is going on and all the varieties that we get from her vocally, it's cool. But the main takeaway for me is you pretty much heard the same chord progression for 3 minutes and 15 seconds to a point. There are, some differences here and there. But if you boil it down, if you do like just a basic melt away analysis, like a general reduction, it's pop progression. It happened pretty much over and over and over. However, the compliment is there was so much going on that was interesting within the track, even within the repetitions that we got, because segments were similar to each other. There's so many like nitty gritty details. At no point, for me at least, I can't speak for everybody, I'm just giving it to you what I experienced. I wasn't bored, and I get bored pretty easily with music if we get like a lot of repetition within a progression, which we did have here. There's just too much stuff going on. Maybe if I listen to it like 15 times and I just hyper focus and ignore the vocals parts and I just listen down to what's going on every layer, maybe after that I'll be like, okay, totally, we got it. But there was just so much, and even on the end here, we get that there's some rhythmic variation we got to go back and listen to. So, yeah, that's just where I was at. So that's the main experience. So you get all that, but let's take a little bit here left in the video here and just check it out. Yeah, we're in the right spot. Okay, that's 220. Let's go back to like 205 to get into it. We gotta come out of this. Here we go. 3, 2. Yeah. That is now our backbeat focus and kind of how we're driving the groove. We haven't had that at all. So this is in the back, like we're 75% of the way through, and now we're getting this groove that comes out, which is cool because it hits in a completely different way. And if you're in the club like dancing to this and you got to this part, you're gonna be like, whoa! It's kind of like it's a gear shift, which is pretty fun because that's a massive attention grabber. So again, praise to the production side of giving us that difference. It's very fun. Here it is again. Beautiful voice. It's funny because the vocal line is so soothing. It's just really, really flowy there. Very legato and completely opposite of the aggressive nature that we get. Yet the almost agogic, like it's very syncopated in comparison of the context that we just had. So how cool is that though? Because normally the track and the vocal line are going to complement each other and kind of like just flow with each other and stick as they change. But this one, I feel like we go away, but then we come back. For me, that's a huge win because we get so much variety and context within, the same 3-minute listening experience when you listen to it normally, obviously, and not stopping and starting all the time. But you get what I mean. Obligatory. Effects on the voice, whisper tones come back a little bit. That's all pretty self-evident there. And if you were going to do it, that is the place to do it, because we just came off that kind of almost awkward type groove. So now you really hear just the synths kind of droning through that pop progression, and then we get the the bullhorn type, whatever effect is on the voice there. But then we get that lick. Yeah, cool. I didn't remember if that woo was in there with the, hold on. I mean, these are just like little subtle things, and they're easy to miss. You might hear something on the third time on the hook here and be like, was that even there? Just because there's so much stuff going on, it's hard to know. That part right there, it's cool. So we get our little turnaround there before we get the ending outro. Was the snare drum that? Hold on, this is like, I don't know, this is like 258. I just want to compare to see if the snare drum was that predominant in the beginning. Oh, it was. It totally was. That's just me not forgetting or not remembering, because we listened to so much stuff, and we're like 20 some minutes in now. It is what it is. Yeah, once again, I'm left liking another auto song. It's funny because normally I would never, like, I'm not really, I enjoy to listen to, the synth heavy stuff. That's cool. We go out. If it's like, if it's a scenario where, having a good time out dancing, cool, that's fun. But I'm not going to go out of my way to like listen to that kind of track. But if it's an auto song, then it feels completely different. Then I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, because I know my ears are going to get rewarded with other things, because like I said, I'm snooty, man. You only have so much time in the day. Who has time to sit around and listen to subpar music? I don't. You shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You want to eat healthy, right? You want to put good nutrients in your body. You want to put good sounds in your ears too. So auto definitely checks that box for me. When am I going to hear, like, let's be real. There at some point, there's going to be a song of hers that I don't like. What's it going to be? We should take like bets. Just because you can't possibly like everything from an artist. It's not possible. Like artistic tastes, putting aside, like, we try to be just doing assessments here, not assessments, observations, and just talking about musical, ideas from like an informed opinion, basically. But I want to know when my musical taste would be like, oh, you know what? This song is not for me. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that one from her. I'm excited for it. I'm like, hey, what is it that we can talk about musically, but I can also not be into? I'm curious. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let me know what you think about the song down in the comments below, please, and thank you. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. Come watch some anime with me on the Patreon. Links to all my socials down in the video description below. I do have a second channel, by the way. It's called AniRollTony. There are some free anime episode reactions over there if the Patreon's not your thing. All right. Anyway, it's good to have you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these two videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.